Hi, and welcome to the video tutorial for the Physical Properties and Concentration Lab. During this week's lab, we will be exploring physical properties of solutions in an effort to become more comfortable with the laboratory setting. By the end of the period, you should be able to use, prepare, and alter an experimental procedure, decide if your data is precise enough to be usable, and be familiar with some common laboratory glassware. Notice that, under these objectives, find the density of water is not listed. The steps that you will follow to find the density will lead you to completing and learning the objectives for this laboratory. The amount of space that a given mass of a sample takes up is referred to as its density. Density is a fixed property, which means that any size sample would have the same density. So, the water in a red Solo cup has the same density as the water in a swimming pool. The relationship between the two variables in density, mass and volume, is linear. This means that as you increase the mass, the volume will increase by the same magnitude. This is the equation. This relationship is easier to visualize when you look at the graph. If you do not understand how to manipulate this equation so that the relationship can be clearly represented by a graph, you should watch our video on manipulating variables. You can find this on Canvas. When it comes time to graph your data, you should watch the video on how to use Excel to do this. There is a link to it in this Canvas module. Because you have this density equation, all you need to do to find the density is divide mass by its volume, and then you're done, right? Well, actually, that's not the best way to do this. What if you made a mistake that time and you didn't realize it? You can help minimize the effects of small errors and inconsistencies by always performing at least 3 trials. This will allow you to assess how precise you were when you collected your data. Make sure you plan out the order in which you will complete the tasks of this lab with your group members. There are 4 main components in today's lab, along with the in-class assignment and the post-lab cleanup. Working in parallel is a concept that will help you both work as a team and complete the tasks within the allotted time period. Here are the 4 tasks. If you do them one after the other, look what happens. You end up working long after the lab was supposed to end. This is frustrating for both you and your TAs. However, if you divide up the tasks among your group members and decide what can be done at the same time, you will be able to finish early most of the time. Most of the labs can be completed in under 2 hours if you plan effectively. It is to your advantage to work together as a team. When it comes time to graph your data, it will be easier for you to see the relationship if you have collected a broad range of data points instead of a set of very close values. So try to make the volume of water that you measure each time different. That's all the background information for this week's lab. So now it's time for you to go watch the technique video. We'll see you next week.